Hi guys, how we doing? I know it's been a wee while, about a week or so since I done a video, because there's no really much to do in the garden just now. It's basically taking care of itself. As you can see here, see if I can point to them, tomatoes, the strawberries are turning red, potatoes are still growing, my garlic's getting big, the peas have just went kabang. And shot right up, and I still get cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli and all that. There's not really much doing. I noticed that my corn has started to grow now, and my green beans have basically kind of shot up a wee bit. But you'll notice here there's no chard, and I've no chard down there, and the reason for that is because I've made this soup many times and I've had some requests for, you know, how to make it. So basically what I've got here is vegetable stock from a stock pot, diced potato, this is the stalks of the chard, diced onion, 2 cloves of garlic, a tin of tomatoes and a tin of beans, and these are the leaves that have just been washed of the chard. And basically what I'm going to try and do is, I'm not going to try, I'm going to make some chard soup. So be back in a minute. Now, the fact that the wife is on Slim World, I'm using say half a tablespoon of oil, because she's on Slim World. It's very, I mean, you should just spray oil, but I have found that that absolutely wrecks pots and pans, that spray stuff, so I just use a wee bit olive oil. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the onion. Sorry, you can't see that. So I'm going to put in all the onion. I'm going to let that sort of simmer. Kind of just soften them up. Get that in a minute. I'm just going to try and soften up the onions just for a wee bit. But while I'm doing that, I'm also drinking one of my favourite drinks, which is lemon balm, mint and natural honey. Boiling water. Lovely. Okay, if the needs have softened up, I'll come back afterwards. Okay, that's the onions done. Now I'm going to add the stalks of the chard. Try to do this one-handed, please bear with. So we'll get the stalks in. And the potatoes. And then just give it a wee stir. Add the garlic. And don't worry about the size of the garlic, because at the end everything gets blended. So now that all of that's in, I'm going to add the vegetable stock. And I want to bring that to the boil. So I'm going to now bring this up to the boil and cook the potatoes and the chard stalks. So I'll be back soon. Okay, as you can see now, that's it, came to the boil. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it down a wee bit, and I'm going to let that simmer until the potatoes are tender, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, while we're waiting in this cooking, I've been noticing in my videos that you can really hear my I find breathing rather difficult. I mean, I could walk through the kitchen to the living room and I'm out of breath. So I understand that that could be coming through in the audio of my video. So if you can hear it in this video, let me know. Because I've put the mic somewhere else. I don't know if it's going to be loud enough. I don't know if it's going to help, but it's more the breathing I'm interested in. So if you can hear the breathing, please let me know. And I'll try and figure out some way of rigging something up that means that you won't hear it. Please comment below if you hear it. Thank you. Okay, let's do a wee check just to see. Oh, potatoes are starting to come to the top, which tells me that's them ready. Yep, they're nearly done. So next what we do is we add a tin of tomatoes. Give that a wash out in a minute. And a tin of beans. I believe the beans are speed when it comes to Slimming World. These don't want to come out. Okay, here we go, and then we'll get some water out the kettle. Okay, basically what we need to do now is cook them a wee bit, just not long. I mean, even now this is a lovely tasting soup, and you can eat it like this, nice and chunky. Do it in the winter, but for the summer, I'm bringing that back up to the boil. For the summer, I like to blend it, so when that comes to the boil, I'm going to add, this is the charred leaves that I've just basically kind of sort of, you know, chopped up very lightly, and I'm just into chunks, whatever. And then I'll be putting them in, so I'll come back when I've done that. Okay, so it's now came back to the boil, and it's been simmering for about 2 minutes. And it looks kind of lovely and red just now. Nice and chunky. But now what I'm going to do is add in the charred leaves. And charred leaves is like spinach leaves. As they cook, they just wilt down, you know. So I'm going to slowly put all of these in. Maybe I should have used a bigger pot actually. Now I'm having this for lunch today, so I like it hot. But I've heard folks saying that they've done the recipe and then let it go cold, and they've had they've put like cream in the middle of it, a swirl of cream or yogurt for a summer soup, for soup in the summer. Don't worry, it will blend. It will not look as much once it's all cooked. So this full pot soup, which is actually quite thick, you could add a lot of water to it. I'll show you it once it's blended. In total, all I've used is a tablespoon of oil, which is, I believe, 6 sins. 6 sins in Slimming World. So that full, I mean, you'll get, say, maybe half a dozen portions out of that, so that's like 1 sin a portion. So next, I just need to let that cook down a wee bit, and then I'll be blending it up, and I'll come back to you in a bit at that stage. Okay, so the soup's done. Well, I think it's done. And as I said, you can eat it like that, say in the winter. Nice big lovely chunky soup. But I prefer it blended. So this is going to be a bit noisy. So I'll get back to you when it's done. Now remember, it was a lovely red colour, but I'll get back to you when it's done. Okay, soup's all blended up, and it's went from that lovely red colour to, we would call it sunset gold in the art world. But it's lovely, smooth, thick soup. I've just put it back on the heat just now because it's taken about 5 minutes to blend it all down. Now I also make a tomato soup, which is slim and world friendly. So if you would like to see that, let me know, and I'll maybe do one in that as well. But this is it, it's ready. So basically I'm just going to have some of this for my lunch right now. One and a half ladles, maybe 2.5 ladles, maybe. And that's it done. I love that with a bit of crusty bread, and that's my lunch. Now, as I said, it's coming back up to the boil now. As I said, full pot. I think it works out to be 6 sins, so 6 of these, 1 sin each. Okay, everybody, please take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching. Bye now.